one and all, we're up in the beautiful mountains, the really, really cold mountains. We got here today, we got Jeff and Robert today, and we all got cabin fever pretty bad, so we just decided to go out, see what we could do, and there's a little too much snow for metal detecting, but there's enough gravel on the edge of the river that we're going to see if we can come up with some flood gold. Now I got a spot picked out over here, so let me take you over there and show you why I picked this spot. Now it's kind of tough filming in here because it's a pretty small area, but basically right here we have a really large boulder. It's not a heavy boulder, but it's a real large boulder. And since we're looking for flood gold, I'm calling this boulder bedrock. We have right over on the other side of Jeff there, we have another large boulder buried in the gravel, which we're going to consider bedrock. And then right over here, we have a couple of boulders, nice big boulders buried in the gravel. Now, right here behind me, we have debris that is built up like a wing dam and has funneled the water through here and removed, it looks like it's taken out about 6 inches of the light sand and gravel, which kind of does our work for us. So the idea now is to get in up against these boulders, dig down in the gravel till we hit a hard pack, and then grab some of that hard pack, pan it out, see if we can find some flood gold. Okay, well I'm gonna go right over here. Let's start digging. We got us a nice big boulder here. We got another here, and we got like a little pocket here where this is a protected area. This area we know has been protected because it's still got sand on the surface. Where you get out here, that sand has been washed away. So we know this is fairly protected, so we're going to kind of dig down in here, see what we can find. Okay, we got us some good packed gravel in here now. Like this one in here. This is what we're looking for. Gravel that's, even though we're up in the gravel, it's still packed pretty good. Okay, we're gonna dig the gravel out of this pocket. Take it down for our first pan. See what we got. Now this gravel in between these boulders is packed in here pretty good. Jeff just headed down with his first pan. We'll see how he's doing. Okay, good enough for our first test pan. I'm not sure how well it's showing. We got quite a bit of black sand, no gold, but our black sand, it's not real coarse, but it's better than Jeff's first pan, so we're in a better area. Well, we know we got a decent flow here because of the black sand. The problem is the gold's gonna be really spotty. We just got to find a spot that's circling around, letting the gold drop out. So we'll just start moving from one side to the other, see if it gets better. Okay, we got our second pan. Let's see how this one fares out. Well, we moved over just about a foot, went a little deeper, and I was hoping for a speck or two. I was totally blown away. Look at this pan. You can see these are all nice sized pieces. There is one real fine piece. But other than that, they're all, you know, fairly good sized pieces. Now also, our black sand got coarser and a lot more of it in that pan. Okay, well, I'm going to clean this up, do another pan. Don't know why, but for the next few segments, I have no sound. And it's not my fault because the batteries were good. Okay, well, here goes the dubbing. What I'm explaining here is Jeff did a pan off to the right of where we found most of the gold. And this is what he found, one small piece. Now, I did a pan off to the right of the area, and this is what I found. One nice little piece. Now, over in this area, we lost the gold. As we move over here, that's where we found a couple pieces. And just doing a pan from this area right now, off over in this area, right in here where the water can circle under this rock is where we found most of the gold. And as we move off to the right, we lose the gold again. And this is what Jeff just got out of that last pan. Well, our first spot, after we found that one pocket that had gold in it, once we got away from that, it got smaller and less of it until it's completely gone. We're not finding anything but little micro specks now. So what we're doing now is we're just moved out. We're looking at different spots. Now I got a spot behind the camera that doesn't look really good to me, but it looks a little better than anything I got to pick from right here. So I'm going to go down there, grab a pan of that material, we'll pan it, and basically what we're looking for is we just want to see what the black sand looks like, how much there is, and what size. So let me grab that pan, I'll pan it back out, I'll get right back to you. Got that pan done. The black sand looks really good. No gold at all, but that's not a bad thing because if we got heavier black sand, no micro specks, that means there could be large stuff like we found here. We just got to find where the gold's collecting. So we're going to go back down there, do a little looking around. And you can see here we are working right on the edge of the snow. From here over it gets pretty darn cold. And right there is the river, so we got a pretty narrow band to work here. Okay, this spot right here, what I like about it is on this side we have the sand that's being washed out, building up. And on this side, we have the larger rocks and the gravel building up. So the water's coming through here, depositing on both sides. So what we're hoping for is we can get down to where there's some larger gold. We already know the black sand is heavier here. It's larger. We haven't found any gold yet, but that's what we're gonna see if we can get these rocks out of here, get down a little bit to see what's down there. Well, we just did 2 pans out of there. Jeff did one up high, and the gravel that looked better, after we pulled those rocks out, that gravel down low just looked terrible, looked way too light. But I took a pan of that, panned it, nothing. Very little black sand, very fine black sand. It looked terrible. But up high, Jeff found one little piece in that, snowing. We're thinking we're working with just a flood layer about this thick is what our gold's in. So we're gonna do a little more looking around, see if we can find a little more before we gotta get out of here. Well, the sun came out, so I can't see what I'm filming, but it sure feels good. It's cold up here. I moved over a little bit. Jeff and Robert were working this first hole. They're panning that out. I moved over to another spot here that looked pretty good to me. And Did a pan there, and I got 2 nice flakes in here, well, nice for today. Let me show you. Now hopefully you can see here we got 2 flakes here. Normally they're pretty small, but today they're pretty nice. Jeff did a pan down low, and then I did a pan up high in a real tight packed gravel. Jeff ended up with absolutely no gold, and I got the nicest piece of the day. You can pick it up. It doesn't weigh much. It's a big flake, but it's a nice flake. Let me show you. See here, it's a nice size. It's not real thick, but it's a pretty good sized flake. Well, I'm going to throw this in the bottle since it's too big to go in my snuffer bottle. Snowing again. Okay, well, we're going to do a little more looking around, see if we can turn up something before we got to get out of here. Do a little more digging. Anything?
Nothing.
Nothing. It's getting kind of tough to find a decent spot now because we got a pretty limited work area, so I don't know about these guys, but I'm calling it a day. I'm going to gather up all my stuff. I'll see you back at the house. Back at the house, and you guessed it, it's the next day. Right, well, I got that gold all cleaned up. So what do you say we jump over to the scale first thing and see how we did. Okay, here we got Jeff's gold, and Jeff ended up with 0.3 grams. Okay, here we got Robert's gold, and we had to trick the scale to weigh it, but he ended up with 0.01. Yep, that's it, that little tiny piece. Well, let's check our biggest piece. 0.85, not bad. And then here's all our fines. Ended up with 1.46 grams. Well, pretty near a gram and a half. I'm okay with that, considering all the snow. And I'm not a real big fan of snow. That area, there's not too far from where we were working. It's still got snow on it right now. But looking at the lay of the land, I'm thinking we can get to bedrock without digging too deep. And I really want to give that a go. That was my plan to go up this weekend and give that a go, but we got a storm coming. And it's supposed to be snowing pretty good up there. So it may be a couple of weeks before we can get back in there. But we'll play it by ear. If not, we'll find somewhere to go. Well, that's pretty much all I got on this one. So I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video. Look out. Guy trying to make a video here.
Camera's over there. That way. Well, now we definitely have to stand in the background. I don't know. He's talking about it. The camera was over there. There's a bear running by very quickly.
Got that pan done? Thank you. Woo!